Shalom.
Shalom.
First and foremost, want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Kakodash. Double honors to the elders and the apostles at Great Millstone. Peace and salutations to the Akim. After on the four corners, teaching the truth and sincerity. Lord's will, we'll be out of here soon. But the other day, me and the brother Rock went in on faith. Faith in having faith, especially in these times. But with faith, you exude wisdom. And it's all through Yahweh by Shemiah Shai that gives these things to us. Okay, so I'm just going to jump straight into the scriptures. The Lord's will is edifying for the elect, that they can understand these sayings. All right. Baba Kushai, do you have anything to open up on?
Nah, bro, I'm gonna.
All right. Well, Baba Kushai, pull that Proverbs chapter 3, verse 19.
Khan. This is Proverbs chapter 3 and verse 19. It says, Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai, by wisdom hath founded the earth.
It says, by wisdom has founded the earth. So it's by wisdom that Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai has made the earth ready, to accept the elect of the nation of Israel. Starting with King David, starting with Yahweh Shai, King David, the elect, and then the rest of the governing body of the nation of Israel.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, continue on.
Khan. Salakia. Proverbs 3 and 19.
Yeah, Proverbs 3 and 19.
This is Proverbs 3 and 19. I'll start from the top again. It says, Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai, by wisdom hath founded the earth, by understanding hath he established the heavens.
See, by wisdom he Baba Kushai, by wisdom he established the earth, and then with understanding. So that means that in the heavens everything is understood. There, Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai has set it up to where understanding is from above.
Mm-hmm.
Continue.
Okay. Verse 20, it says, by his knowledge the depths are broken up, and the clouds drop down dew.
And the clouds drop down dew. All right. It's either in Isaiah or in Matthew's. So I should have pulled it earlier. But loosely paraphrasing, it goes into how the dew from heaven, the latter rain or the early and
well, that's Deuteronomy.
Baba Kushai.
You want me to get that?
Baba Kushai.
Okay.
Because that's how that dew forms. Okay, especially like in the early mornings, when it has not rained at all, but the plants are still moist. All right, that was how the world was watered before rain existed. But continue.
Kind. This is Deuteronomy chapter 32 and verse 2. I'll start at verse 1. It says, give ear, O ye heavens, and I will speak, and hear, O earth, the words of my mouth.
So just like it said in the Proverbs, how the heavens are of understanding. All right, read that again.
Mm-hmm. Deuteronomy 32 and 1. It says, give ear, O ye heavens, and I will speak, and hear, O earth, the words of my mouth.
So he's going to speak, and the heavens are ready to adhere to whatever is made manifest, is made known.
Right.
Continue.
And if I can just add, the title of the subtitle of this chapter is, this is going into the Song of Moses, and just like the new song of these times, that new song can only be understood by the elect.
That's right.
Like the brother opened up with, right? So when the scriptures are addressing, the heavens and the earth, right? We have to use our, spiritual context clues to understand that only the elect are truly going to understand what's going on. They're the only ones that are going to be able to even comprehend this message, But I just wanted to say that real quick.
Through the Spirit.
Kind.
But Baba Kushai, you got it.
Kind. This is Deuteronomy 32:2. It says, "My doctrine shall drop as the rain.
There you go.
My speech shall distill as the dew."
Shall distill, all right, and the distillation of water, it takes out the impurities. Okay, whenever you further understand how water is filtered, to even drink properly, all right, it goes through a thorough staged process. Read that again, Baba Kushai.
Yep. Deuteronomy 32:2. It says, "My doctrine shall drop as the rain, my speech shall distill as the dew."
So his speech is going to distill as the dew. So it's going to be in the process of the distilling is being what's that word? It's being purified.
Right.
It's being made thoroughly, and specifically for one process, for one like going back to water.
Right.
Water, whenever it's distilled, all the minerals is taken out, all the impurities is taken out.
It's 100%
It's just
truth.
100% water. It's 100% truth.
100% truth.
Just like with alcohol, whenever you distill it, you get to 100% alcohol, or what they call 100% alcohol.
No, that's the spirit, because that's been coming out a lot at camp recently. The fact that we have received the 100% truth,
Boom,
as pertains to the instructions, all right, and the understanding that leads to salvation and deliverance.
that's right.
Because when you go into that word doctrine in that verse, the word doctrine, when you go into it in the Greek, it goes into instructions, right? So we have received, through the Ruach HaKodesh, through the Holy Spirit, the instructions from, Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai, all right, to get us to that final destination, which, Lord willing, is salvation, is the kingdom.
Kingdom.
You got it.
To be kingdom minded, you have to go through that process of refining, all right, and that refining is the same process as the dew,
Yeah.
But Baba Kushai, continue.
Kind. It says, "My doctrine shall drop as the rain, my speech shall distill as the dew, as the small rain upon the tender herb, and as the showers upon the grass."
See, and that's what he does also to the men, to the older men and the younger man. Loosely paraphrasing, it says, I believe this is in Acts chapter 2. Here, Baba Kushai, let me just pull it.
Kind. And while you're getting that, I'll grab this real quick. This is Deuteronomy chapter 11. This is Deuteronomy 11 and I'll start at verse 10. All right. And this is warnings and exhortations, to the nation of Israel as they come into the Holy Land, right, when you go into this chapter. All right, but this is Deuteronomy 11 and 10. It says, "For the land, whither thou goest in to possess it, is not as the land of Egypt, from whence ye came out, where thou sowest thy seed, and waterest it with thy foot, as a garden of herbs." Right, because when you go into the differences between the land of Egypt and the land of Israel, the land of Egypt was a primarily desertous region. Right, it was a very dry region, which is why the Nile was so important to the Egyptians, right? And they had particular, agricultural tools, that they used to basically funnel the water from the Nile into their different crops, right, and their crop rotations, right? But that's the opposite. It's not the opposite, but it was very different going from the land of Egypt to the land of Israel, right? Because as we were going to read, the land of Israel was primarily reliant upon the early and the latter rain, right? And when you go into the scriptures, right, the early rain, took place primarily, in the autumn, in the fall, right? In what is modern day, August, September, right? October,
Con.
right? And then you had the latter rain, which took place around this time of year, right? Which is why you have, so-called April showers, right? But the land of Israel was extremely dependent on those two, periods of rain.
Con. That's why we have a saying now, especially in March and April, fat rain. like especially here in Texas, whenever it rains, in the winter, it's just like a quick dusting. But in the spring, it's like a drenching.
Right. Right. Exactly.
It's
heavier.
It's heavier.
Yeah.
And then it's fat. These raindrops are huge.
Yeah. Yep. Can I get a little bit more on this?
A
couple more verses.
Yeah.
Deuteronomy 11:11. All right, and it says, "But the land whither ye go to possess it," talking about the land of Canaan, our land. It says, "is a land of hills and valleys, and drinketh water of the rain of heaven, and the land which Yahweh Shem Yahushai thy power careth for. For the eyes of the Lord thy God are always upon it from the beginning of the year, even unto the end of the year." Right? Verse 13 it says, "And it shall come to pass, if ye shall hearken diligently unto my commandments, which I command you this day, to love the Lord your God, and to serve him with all thy heart and soul, that I will give you the rain of your land in his due season, the first and latter rain, that thou mayest gather in thy corn, thy wine, and thine oil." Right? So this scripture is breaking down that agricultural necessity of the rains, from the Yahweh Shem Yahushai upon our land. That was something that was very crucial, to our nation's existence. Okay, but on a spiritual level, like we were going into Deuteronomy 32, all right, the Lord had promised us this outpouring of the Spirit in the latter days, right? Which is why you have, Isaiah the 44th chapter, for example, right? Which is why you have, like we were going into before this, Joel the 2nd chapter, right? Where the Lord talked about how he was going to pour out his Spirit, and cause, men and sons to prophesy.
Con.
You got it.
I found it. This is Acts chapter 2, verse 17. It says, "And it shall," Salakia. No. Acts chapter 2, verse, I'll read 16. It says, "But this is that which was spoken by the prophet Joel." It says, verse 17, it says, "And it shall come to pass in the last days, saith Yahweh Shem Yahushai, I will pour out my flesh upon, I will pour out my spirit upon all flesh, and your sons and your daughters shall prophesy, and your young men shall see visions, and your old men shall dream dreams." Okay, I wanted to pull that because he said that he was going to pour out his spirit upon that flesh. All right, and that's what's happening in these times.
Right.
All right, people are going through, especially these young females that hasn't had a man. They are prophesying. They are having dreams. They are seeing Yahweh Shem Yahushai, like that one Issacharite.
Yeah, men, women, and children.
Yeah, men, women, and children. But that one Issacharite young woman, she had a dream of Yahweh Shai coming, cracking the clouds.
Right.
All right, and just like some of these old men, they are understanding through the Spirit who they are. All right, and that's through the wisdom that's being, the wisdom, knowledge, and understanding that's being rained down from Yahweh Shem Yahushai's throne. Baba Kushai, you got more on that?
We didn't finish Proverbs 3.
Go ahead.
Okay, Proverbs 3 and 20. It says, "By his knowledge the depths are broken up, and the clouds drop down the dew. My son, let not them depart from thine eyes. Keep sound wisdom and discretion."
See, keep sound wisdom. All right, wisdom is something that is so precious to have. You know, wisdom gives you faith. Wisdom gives you proper understanding. All right, wisdom gives you proper knowledge. Without wisdom, you know, you will be leaning upon your own mindset or your own thoughts, you know, to try to maneuver through the world. All right, and Yahweh Shemi Al-Shai says, "Lean not to thine own understanding, but every word that comes out of Yahweh Shemi Al-Shai's mouth," and that's through the wisdom.
Con, how much do you want to keep going to 24?
Go ahead and go through the 24.
Con, Proverbs 3 and 22, it says, "So shall they be life unto thy soul, and grace to thy neck."
And that's the wisdom. Wisdom, knowledge, and understanding, as it says in that Isaiah chapter 33, verse 6. You know, let me pull that just because I quoted it. Because wisdom and knowledge shall be the stability of thy times and strength of salvation. All right. So like I was gonna pull that Sirach 23 as well.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of precepts, brother.
Con.
But if you have a precept, Baba Kushai.
No, I pulled out the Deuteronomy.
Okay.
But we still keep going on this. If you want to hold it.
1 second. Let me pull this Sirach chapter 6, verse 23, because could you read that 23 again?
Con, Proverbs 3 and 23. Well, we didn't read that yet. It says,
read 22 again. Baba
it
Kushai.
says, "So shall they be life unto thy soul, and grace to thy neck."
Read 21. Salakia.
Proverbs 3 and 21, it says, "My son, let not them depart from thine eyes. Keep sound wisdom and discretion."
It says keep sound wisdom and discretion. And it says here in this Ecclesiasticus 6 and 23, it says, "Give ear, my son." It says, "Receive my advice and refuse none. Refuse not my counsel." It says, "And put thy feet into her fetters, and thy neck into her chains. Bow down thy shoulder, and bear her, and be not grieved with her bonds." And this is going into wisdom. All right, just like this is going into wisdom here in this Proverbs chapter 3 verse 21. So it's pretty much the same thing mirrored. Is you know, keep hold of wisdom, you know, because wisdom and knowledge, again, in that Isaiah chapter 33 verse 6, wisdom, knowledge, and understanding shall be the stability of our times, especially in these hellish times and seasons that we're going through now. But you can jump to the next precept, Bob. Then
Wisdom of Solomon.
Yeah.
This is Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 6 and verse 9. And it reads, it says, "Unto you therefore, O kings, do I speak, that ye may learn wisdom and not fall away."
All right, and this is talking to the nation of Israel. All right, because this truth wasn't given to no other nation. Wisdom wasn't given to nobody else but you, as it says in Ecclesiasticus chapter 24, verse 8. But you can continue on.
It says, verse 10, it says, "For they that keep holiness holy shall be judged holy, and they that have learned such things shall find what to answer."
You know, because you have learned, you have toiled. All right, you have been diligent. And that's one thing that Yahweh Shemi Al-Shai loves, is you being diligent in his word. Okay? and that's mainly talking to the nation of Israel, of and those of Negroid descent. But continue.
Verse 11, it says, "Wherefore set your affection upon my words, desire them, and ye shall be instructed. Wisdom is glorious, and never fadeth away. Yea, she is easily seen of them that love her, and found of such as seek her."
And who are those that love wisdom? Who are those that diligently seek her? The elect above all things. Baba Kushai, go to Wisdom of Solomon 1:1, real quick.
This is Wisdom of Solomon 1:1. It says, "Love righteousness, ye that be judges of the earth."
And we are nations of kings and priests, right? We are a nation of kings, because kings and priests will judge the nation. Continue.
It says, "Think of the Lord with a good heart, and in simplicity of heart seek him. For he will be found of them that tempt him not, and showeth himself unto such as do not distrust him."
Those that do not distrust him are those that are hoping and that have faith in him, to deliver them from the said perils. You can continue on that a little bit more if you would like.
Verse 3, it says, "For froward thoughts separate Slakia." Wisdom of Solomon 1:3, it says, "For froward thoughts separate from Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, and his power, when it is tried, reproveth the unwise."
See, and forward thoughts, thinking that you got it, then fully understanding that Yahweh Bashem Yahushai is in control of everything. That will separate from you and his power. All right, that means that you won't have a rock to stand on. Yahweh Bashem Yahushai is not going to deal with you. Okay. Read that last part again.
Wisdom of Solomon 1:3, it says, "For froward thoughts separate from Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, and his power, when it is tried, reproveth the unwise."
It reproves you. It puts you in the proper mindset. And instead of you going about it your own way, it will either reprove you or cut you off completely.
That's exactly what's about to happen to Esau Edom. Esau Edom, through these different GMOs, through these different experimentations, all the things that he's doing on the planet Earth can really be viewed as trying the power of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai.
Good.
But what he doesn't quite understand yet is that there are consequences to playing with creation. There are consequences to messing with the ecosystem and doing these particular things. All these things that he's doing are getting ready to backfire 100-fold in his face.
Oh, that's the spirit.
And that's what's getting ready to lead to the worst times in human history.
That's right.
That's why the pestilence is about to come full force, right? That's why this famine is about to hit full force.
Full force.
All right.
Y'all about to get caught off
That's
guard.
why Yahweh Bashem Yahushai is preparing these sword judgments, but he's using Esau Edom.
Baba Kushai, drop down to 9, because it's going to go into the point that you just made.
Wisdom of Solomon 1:9, it says, "For inquisition shall be made into the counsels of the ungodly, and the sound of his words shall come unto the Lord for the manifestation of his wicked deeds."
Exactly. It's exactly what the brother just wrote.
Yeah.
Because Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, really, he's done using Esau. Esau has been used and it's dried up. He's about to get put back in his proper place, and that's on the bottom. All right, but going back to that, did we read all that Wisdom of Solomon 6?
Yeah, we got it.
All right, Con. Well, hey, with that, that's all I got. With that, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. Double honors to the elders and the apostles of Great Millstone. Hey, I hope you brothers out there, are fighting for the spirit and power of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai with all your fervor. Because times are about to get rough, but Yahweh Bashem Yahushai is going to deliver us out of this. Shalom and shalom.
Shalom.